Hey everyone, this is Xbox.
You don't like this. This is actually an early build of the Xbox 720 running Halo 5.
Steam Deck is our powerful, portable, handheld gaming Xbox that lets you take your Xbox library with you anywhere.
Man, Valve is not messing around, are they?
This is a video about the future of Steam hardware. Today, we're announcing 3 new members of the Steam hardware lineup. All connect you with powerful PC gaming. All are optimized for gaming on Steam. And all are shipping in early 2026.
Wait, that's actually gonna happen! They said it me! That's gonna happen!
Wow, it's so boring out here in the great beyond of nothingness. If only I had something I could play anytime, anywhere. Wow, a fantasy strategy RPG game. Thank you, sponsor of this video, Watcher of Realms. There's an exciting event going on right now, all centered around Dracula. That's right, the Dracula. It includes 4 new playable heroes, Vlad Dracula, Dr. Van Helsing, Lady Mina, and Count Dracula, the Dark Prince himself, wielding powerful ultimate abilities, and many, many sparkles. A fantasy strategy RPG game that boasts an expansive world and rich storyline, packed with endless tactical combinations to let your massive gamer brain run wild with combat possibilities, with multiple exciting game modes to challenge your skills against captivating bosses, or even guild versus guild battles. And the fact Watcher of Realms is on both PC and mobile means you can deploy your heroes into combat anytime, anywhere, even on your Spartan HUD. I even took this Dracula persona test and found out I'm actually part of the dark, noble Dracula bloodline, known for their aura. You too can take the test, download the game, and support the channel by using the links down below. Thank you, Watcher of Realms, for buying my groceries. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a special day because today, Gabe Newell finally realized he could stop doing dumb shit like investing in neuroscience and doing non-profit marine research and instead focus on actual important stuff like video games.
This is the new Steam controller.
The controller looks like the blushing emoji meme, like I gripped it too tight or something. Now, I don't usually do these kinds of videos, but as a recent Valve fanboy since the beginning of this YouTube channel, covering nearly all of the games, except for a couple, don't worry, I haven't forgotten, I feel I just had to say something because I may have had a generational prediction, but we'll get to that later. Valve has just announced 3 pieces of hardware. Holy titty sprinkles, 3 pieces of 3 Valve announced 3. Sorry, I'm just savoring this moment. It's not every day you get to legitimately say these words. Let's just go over the announcements before I give my deep and intellectual analysis on what this could mean for the future of gaming and a certain morphine-addicted scientist. Gabe decided to finally stand up to these incompetent console giants to say, hey, what if we just made our own hardware that didn't suck? And so, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to the brand new Steam controller. And the brand new Steam machine. Wait, what do you mean they already did that 10 years ago? It's really funny to me that Valve aren't calling this the Steam Controller 2 or the Steam Machine 2 because they just know how much of a flop the first products were and just assumed everyone forgot about them except me, and now you. Honestly, if you think about it, this announcement is literally just a repeat of the same announcement back then, even right down to the VR stuff. The first Steam controller came out back in 2015, and everyone collectively agreed that it was a steaming pile of doo-doo. It only had 1 joystick, which hasn't been a thing since the fucking Nintendo 64, and that joystick wasn't even concave, it was convex, so your thumb couldn't sit in it properly, and there was no real D-pad, and the trackpad felt like you were aiming on a ThinkPad. It was so bad, I'd rather be locked in a cell pad, slowly growing mad. Bars. However, a lot has changed in 10 years, and since then, the Steam Deck has launched to very high praise. Having 2 trackpads along with 2 regular joysticks was such a great move, everyone loved it. So they were just like, well, let's take out the middle screen, and Nintendo switched those bitches together, and voila, the new Steam controller. It does look a bit long though, like it's sagging its pants or something. They have these new magnetic joysticks, which from the previews I've seen are extremely responsive and snappy, with a very, very small dead zone. That all translates to, it feels good. The trackpad being an option now instead of being mandatory for aiming just opens up the door to how much versatility this thing has, allowing you both controller gaming and the option to play games not even meant for a controller in the first place, like Balatro fucking mentioned! Insane that the funny clown man is permanently part of Valve lore now. The thumbsticks and back buttons also have touch sensors now, which is cool, I guess. The Valve Knuckles controllers also had touch sensors too for finger tracking and other things. So I'm curious to see how developers actually utilize this in game form. Overall though, the controller is the least exciting aspect out of all of this. I'll still cop one. It does look really well designed, and because it seems like the best controller to use for the other two devices.
Oh, this is the new Steam machine.
That's not the name, you idiot. It's called the Gabe Cube. Small, compact, powerful. Just like Gabe himself. The Gabe Cube is the official Steam machine, and there really is no better descriptor than that. It's a machine that runs Steam. It is not a console, and they are very, very clear about that. It can act like a console if you want it to, but Valve says at its core, it's a PC, personal computer. You can install your own custom apps or even a whole different operating system, because who are we to tell you how to use your computer? Holy fucking based another $10 trillion to Deadlock Development for last chess jiggle physics. Here are the specs for all of those who care, so pause and read them if you want. But for the everyday Jane and John Does out there, all you need to know is that it's capable of handling 4K 60 FPS gaming. It's about 6 times more powerful than the Steam Deck, placing it around the base PS5 specs. For some, that may be a red flag to release a product in 2026 that compares to something from 2020, especially when the GPU has 8 gigabytes of VRAM, but like that's enough, but like not really enough. I don't know, it kind of depends. But the biggest factor we still don't know is the price. The price for the Gabe Cube is still unannounced, which will make or break the entire thing. However, if this thing lands around the $500 range, buddy, this is going to actually do catastrophic levels of damage to the console big boys, giving the general gaming audience essentially an open source console that can not only play a ton of PlayStation and Xbox games natively, but also has the power to emulate games for living room play and doesn't cost you a fucking monthly subscription to use online services? I guess Xbox and PlayStation were being produced by Black Mesa because they are dropping a nuke on that shit. And the cherry on top is that there are so many PC exclusive indie games that would be perfect for couch gaming, but just never really made it to any console stores. Finally, Uncle Neighbor Uncle Dating Sim is playable from the comfort of my living room. I mean, look at something like Peak, an incredibly popular indie game, but is still not available on consoles. And with the existence now of the Gabe Cube, you can now get that console experience. And again, this applies to so many PC-only gems. And the cherry on top of that cherry is just having the Steam ecosystem and all of the insane deals and free titles on it. Like, you're buying a box that is presumably the same price as current consoles, for infinitely more value and long-term money saving. There are just very few negatives here beyond, I guess, the system's power, which people say it could hurt the system even within a few years as gaming gets more advanced. But that really translates to is, within a few years, developers will even further forget what the word optimization means. The aesthetics of the Gabe Cube looks good. I love the little LED strip on the bottom. It just gives off such a sleek, modern, sophisticated vibe. It also has a customizable front plate, which is fucking awesome. Already saw this beauty of an idea on Twitter today, and I need one ASAP. And not to mention, holy shit, this thing is so tiny. This thing got the dimensions of a Minecraft dirt block, except it was mined from the minerals of Atlantis, alright, discovered by Gabe Newell's research expeditions. The absolute biggest problem, though, that people have pointed out, beyond the vague info on pricing, is retail sales. The Steam Deck, despite its success and positive praise, can only be purchased directly through Steam itself. Those ordering it off Amazon or eBay are from resellers who probably installed software on it to get the 3 silly digits on the back of your credit card after you buy a game with it. Many consumers lack something called object permanence. If they don't see it, it doesn't exist. So all those moms going out for Christmas this year won't even fathom that there are other console options for their snot-nosed little booger eater than the big 3. I'm curious if Valve will finally make the move to start selling these things in actual stores to help drive awareness and sales, which I think they completely should, because unlike the previous Alienware flops, this has a legitimate chance to shake up the console market, especially since Xbox is self-destructing itself and leaving a massive hole that's begging waiting to be filled. But what's even a bigger gaping hole waiting to be filled is the VR space.
It's the only place that feels like I mean anything. Because I have phantom pain! A world where the limits of reality are your own imagination.
And boy, is Valve whipping out the 3D meat.
Oh, yep. This is Steam Frame.
It's so fucking corny, man. I love it. Steam Frame is Valve's newest VR headset, and it might be the new standard moving forward in this space. They nailed that shit so hard that along with today's announcements, they also have officially ended production of the Valve Index, a headset that has been the pinnacle of VR for the last 6 years, until today. However, while it seems to have raised the bar, it doesn't look like it was by very much. Without digging super deep into the specifics of this thing, since again there are other channels that do that way better, I can at least say that if you're familiar with the Quest 3, it's a little bit better than that. It has slightly more raw power, is a lot lighter, and has the added benefit of not making you look like a bug person when wearing it. The pass-through on the Steam Frame is still monochrome, which means it's in black and white, while the Quest 3 has color, but the Quest 3 has been really marketed as a mixed reality headset, while the Steam Frame seems to be far more focused on being for gamers. One massive difference though is that the Steam Frame has eye tracking, so Gabe Newell will know when you're staring at Barney's ass for too long. This is mostly going to be used in their optimization tech, so they can literally render in super high detail wherever you're looking, which is a massive step in making these things more efficient for how small they are, and can be used for in-game mechanics, you know, things like VR chat has eye tracking for other devices, and it's pretty cool. But the biggest innovation though is its wireless capacity. For my Half-Life Alyx playthrough, I was using a Quest 3 headset and tried using the Quest Link Wi-Fi thing so I could play with no wires attached.
Got the reactor. Easy peasy. I'm headed back to the safe house.
That doesn't look right.
So I ended up having to hardwire it anyways. However, Steam Frame comes with a dedicated dongle, again just included with the headset average Valve W, that has Wi-Fi 6 capabilities, creating a direct link from your PC to your headset, minimizing interferences, and reportedly, it works really fucking well, like borderline magical. That is just another massive step towards making true high-fidelity wireless VR something that's easier for more people to obtain and use. Because once you go wireless, there is just no going back. And again, focus on high-fidelity wireless VR because there are just some things you cannot run on a pure standalone headset. Now that we got all of that boring hardware out of the way, let's talk about software. That makes me hard. We're all thinking it. Half-Life.
I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
The last time Valve released a VR headset, Half-Life Alyx was announced and released within a year. So, surely this means another Half-Life game is coming, right? Well, no. But also yes. Valve publicly stated during an interview with Upload VR that they are not talking about content today, and that a member of the Steam Frame team denied it has any VR content in development. So, this means two things. First off, today. Not talking about content today implies that there is content to be talked about. We fucking did it, baby. Half-Life 3 confirmed. We finally made it. But also, this directly confirms that despite rumors, this secret HLX game, or whatever it is, but I mean, come on, it's Half-Life, is not going to be a VR title. You hear that? That's the sound of every collective Steam user crying tears of joy. Now, I'm low-key a little disappointed, because after playing Half-Life Alyx myself, I will stand on 10 toes that it was like top 3 gaming experiences I've had the pleasure to enjoy, and I really wanted to see if they could top it with another game. Sadly though, despite how cool this new headset is, besides the eye tracking stuff and just being extremely accessible and efficient, there really isn't anything truly groundbreaking mechanics-wise that would allow Valve to make something innovative for the Half-Life franchise, which is something they specifically stated is what the series is all about. Innovation. If they don't feel like they can truly innovate the entire gaming scene, they'll keep cooking until they do.
It was easy to think about VR being a vehicle for Half-Life because that was a big technological innovation and kind of a core reason for that product's existence. And I think like one of the things we have internally tended to attach to the Half-Life IP is innovation. Gameplay innovation is oftentimes enabled by a technological innovation. Clearly there was a ton in Half-Life 1 and 2. And so yeah, it's an interesting challenge moving forward to like think about what that means for future Half-Life stuff for sure.
Half-Life represents a tool we have and promises made to customers to capitalize on innovation and opportunities to build game experiences that haven't been involved previously. And I think that there are no shortage of those opportunities facing us as an industry right now.
However, I think despite that, the next Half-Life experience may actually be real, and I know that's just a meme to say, okay, I get it, but I'm telling you, man, something's in the air. And it's more than just copium. There have been so many insiders and leakers saying that despite the massive hardware announcement bomb Valve dropped, there is still more that we don't know and that we'll see very soon. The streets are saying it could even be next week, especially because November 19th will be Half-Life 1's 27th anniversary. And after all these recent hardware announcements, there is just no better time to announce the next entry. So either I'm gonna look back to this video in a week and be pissing and shitting in despair, or I will be so hyped that I will be leaking happy fluids out from every pore of my body. Okay, calm down. Calm down. Look, I know you're emotional, future Kelsky, yeah. But yes, you made it, but calm down, all right? You know what? Fuck it. Let loose, man. We'll see how that ages. This all brings me to my final point. On September 6, 2024, I said these words. I'm calling it right now. 2025 announcement and release. And you know what? Yeah, I'm getting a little nervous. But after today's hardware announcements, the fact that they've been cooking so hard on Deadlock lately, and with all of the industry rumors collectively saying the same thing, they might actually fucking announce a new game this year, which means that I was right. Well, half right. If I'm half right and they announce a new Half-Life but not release it, does that mean I have to wear half a head crab costume? Half crab? Half-Life? I don't know. I'll cross that bridge when it comes. But the bottom line is we might actually be reaching the lights at the end of the tunnel. Oh, wait. That's just heaven. We died of old age waiting. I know I'm still fairly new to the Valve community, only really making content on their stuff for a few years now, but it was the best decision I've ever made in my gaming career so far. And I truly think I joined at the best possible time. Just enough waiting to blue ball me for whatever's next, but not long enough to have gone completely mentally insane. We know that a Half-Life game exists in some capacity, like there is code still being updated to this very day, with channels dedicated to analyzing every single detail on the front lines of schizophrenia. Half-Life 3, or whatever it's called, is not a matter of if, but a matter of when. And I think it's sooner than we all think. Regardless, this is a massive day in gaming history, and I think we will be at a tipping point for how we, the consumers, view PC gaming as a whole, and will be the serious competition these bigwig fucks need in order to lock in or become obsolete. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, it's super different from my usual content, but I've been having fun lately, just trying different styles and doing different things. I've been wanting to make videos on broader gaming subjects for a while now, kind of like how Nakey Jakey covers specific topics, not always just game reviews or analysis. I know people are still waiting for me to finish my Valve arc. Trust me, I see it every single day. And hell, maybe I will pick it back up with all of this recent, refreshed excitement. I'm still only on year 3 of my channel, and there's so many ways I could keep moving forward. I feel I've established enough of an audience by now that I can truly just post whatever, and as long as I'm having fun, people will come for the Keltown vibes. Thank you all for such amazing continued support. We're almost at 400K, and I think it is completely possible before the year is up. As always, here is your standard issue Bubba picture for making it to the end of this video. That's all from me. I will see you in the next video. Peace.